guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to carry on with doing the Disney Princess Glam and Gore version. I'm doing Cinderella today. So I'm just going in and starting my face by priming it with the No Problem primer. And then after that, I'm just going to use my hands and apply my normal foundation all over my face and then down my neck. And then I'm just going to go in with some concealer under my eyes, along the bridge of my nose, a little on my forehead and my chin, and just use my finger to tap that out. And then to prime my lids, I'm just going in with the Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to apply that to my lids. And then I'm going to go in with a white cream eyeshadow pencil, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my lids just so that I have a white base when I add the color on top of it. And then for this look, I'm going in with the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I'm just going to go in with this light blue shade right here, and I'm just going to apply that to my crease and kind of blend that out upwards to my brow. Once I have that done, I'm going to go in with the Aurora Lights palette, and I'm going to go in with the shimmery white shade and just use my finger to pat that on to the inner half of my lid. To deepen up that crease a little bit, I'm going in with the Foil Eyes from BH Cosmetics, and I'm going in with this blue shade right here. And then because I wanted the outer half of my lid to be dark, I'm going back into the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I'm going in with this shimmery blue shade, and I'm just using my finger to kind of pat that onto the outer half and then blend it into the center. And then using the same brush that I used before, I'm just blending those colors together. And then using a black eyeliner, I'm just going to line my upper and lower waterlines. And then going back in and using the Foil Eyes palette and using the white shimmer shade, I'm just going to apply that to my brow bone. I'm also going to use this shade as kind of a highlight, put it on a fluffy brush, apply it to my cheeks, a little to my nose, and a little on my cupid's bow. After this, I had gone in and filled in my brows, but then realized with the blonde wig I'm applying afterwards, the dark brows may be a little too intense. So I'm going in with the Pretty Vulgar bronzer, and I'm just going to use that to lighten up my brows. I'm also taking that into the contour areas of my face. Next, I'm going in with the Wander Beauty Dusk to Dawn palette, and I'm just going to use the blush shade and just tap that on to the apples of my cheeks. For lips, I couldn't decide what color I wanted to use, so I'm going to go in with two of the shades that I got from e.l.f. recently. So I'm going to go in and fill my lips in with the intense pink color. And then after that, I'm going in with the lighter shade and applying it to the centers of both my top and my bottom lids. And to finish up the face, I'm just going in and coating my lashes. To start on the body paint, of course, I'm going in with a brow pencil, and I'm first just going to sketch in where her dress is going to be and where all of the basic things that I'm going to be painting in after are going to go. Then before I go in and fill all of this in with paint, I'm going to go in with the Pretty Vulgar bronzer again, and I'm just going to add in the shading before I add the paint. So I'm just taking that onto a fluffy brush and going around the entire outside edge of the dress. And then to deepen up that shading a little bit more, I'm going in with this Cover FX palette, and I'm just going to go in with this contour shade right here, I got this in one of my boxy charms, and they had sent me the wrong shade. This is for a darker skin tone, so it works great for shading around dresses and stuff. So anyways, I'm going in with the Mayron palette. I'm using the light blue shade, and I'm just going to fill in the entire dress area as well as my sleeves with that light blue color. And then once I have all of that done, I'm going to go in with Global Body Art and using a pearl blue shade, and I'm just adding that to the light blue of the center part of the dress. And then on a smaller brush, I'm just taking a bit more of the pigment of that pearl blue shade, and I'm going around the outside edges of the dress just to deepen up that shading a little bit. I'm also taking that same color into the sleeves and creating the lines that would create the ruffles. And then going back in with the Aurora Lights palette and using this blue shade, I'm also going to be using the white shade that's right next to it, and just taking that onto my finger and kind of applying that to my shoulder pieces to make them a little sparkly. And then to deepen up the shading of my dress, I'm going in with the XNO Cosmetics Sunset Sky palette and using the blue shimmer shade, and I'm just deepening up that section at the top of my dress. And then using a pearl white body paint from Global Body Art, I'm just going to take that on a smaller brush and create the designs that's all over her dress. And then because I wanted my sleeves to actually look like they're poofing up, I'm going to go in with a black body paint from Global Body Art, and I'm just going to create the illusion that my arms and my shoulders are thinner than they are, so that the actual shoulder piece pops up. And then I just went ahead and added a blonde wig and some earrings. I realized afterwards that this was missing something, so I went in and I added her black choker that she's wearing in the film. And this was it for the glam version of Cinderella. For the gore version, I've already gone ahead and pre-made a clock for this. I wanted to go with a Midnight Curse Cinderella. I've seen the slipper through the face about 1,000,000 times, so I wanted to do something different. So I made the clock using a piece of cardstock and some latex paste, and I made this on a cookie sheet. And then I'm just going ahead and I trimmed up the edges, and then I'm just applying some latex to the area that I want my clock to be. Once that's had a minute to dry just a little bit, I'm just applying my clock to it and pressing it down. And then using my finger, I'm going to go in and apply some latex around the clock to kind of blend out those edges. And then while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm going to go in and make my face look disgusting. So I'm going to start by going in with the Sunset Sky palette again and using this matte blue shade. And I'm just going to take that onto the same brush that I used before. And I'm just going to apply that under my eyes, deepen up the crease area of my eye. And I'm going to take some black and blend that in as well. I'm also going to go in and put it around my lips. In that same palette, I'm just going to use the magenta-y shade, and I'm going to apply that under my eyes. I'm also going to apply that to the contour areas of my cheek. Afterwards, I realized that this was a little bit too purpley, so I'm going back in with the Cover FX palette and using that same shading color that I used and applying that over the purple to deepen that up. And then going in with a black body paint and a very watered down brush, I'm just going to go in and create the places where my liner would run if I was crying. And then to create the veins going out from my mouth and my eyes and my chest, I'm going in with that Mehron body painting palette. I'm going in with the dark blue shade on a very thin brush, and I'm just going to wiggle that around to make non-uniform vein lines. I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye. I think it was my camera focusing, but I couldn't figure it out. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to go in and continue with those veins. I'm going to take that red shade as well and go around the very inner edge of the clock. And then taking a black body paint, I'm just going to go back in around where I just put that red, just to deepen up the red a little bit more to make it look a little more sunken in. I'm also going to go in afterwards and use the red body paint from that same palette and put the red veins over the blue ones to kind of mix that in. And if there was a spot where I painted a little bit too heavily or I pushed too heavily on the brush, I'm just going to go in and use my finger to tap that out. And then to make the clock blend in with my skin a little bit more, I'm just going in with that same foundation that I used on my face earlier, taking that onto my finger and tapping that into the prosthetic, as well as dragging that out a little bit so that the two colors match. And then I'm just going in and adding what body paint was lost. And then to make this look a little bit more gory, I'm going in with my finger and that red body paint, and I'm just tapping that along the edges of the prosthetic. I'm also going to create some veins along my chest the same way I did on my face. And then finally, I'm just adding some fake blood. I'm also going to take this blood along the outside of my lips. And then to make one of my eyes look bloodshot, I'm just going in with that Mehron palette and I'm just applying that to one of my eyes in like the waterline. Don't recommend, it didn't sting, but it's not made for your eye, so I would recommend getting something that's specifically designed for your eyes. Anyway, that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to turn on those notifications so you can see the next princess. Bye!